Molly McGinty was organized. Very organized. Exceedingly organized. Everyone knew that about her. And the key to her organization was a multi-pocketed 3-ring binder that she carried everywhere. She had spent countless hours straightening and rearranging her notebook, getting it just so. No, getting it perfect. Molly's notebook wasn't just a place to keep paper and to put worksheets. It was a repository for valuable information. She kept her homework in the school section, every class in a different colored folder, of course, along with a cross-referenced listing of test schedules and the due dates of large projects and important papers. She was especially proud of her system for keeping track of when to return library books, a structured grid laid out by date and time of day. 2 years earlier, she had been reading a book about the Wright brothers and their first flight at Kitty Hawk that contained an old photo showing the inside of the shack the men lived in while getting ready for the first powered flight. On the wall of the shack was a wooden rack full of eggs, which they ate for breakfast. The book said that each egg was numbered in order of freshness so that the oldest egg could be eaten first. Molly had nearly cried. She understood the Wright brothers perfectly and knew that their organizational abilities were the primary reason there were airplanes today. The Wright brothers probably had 3-ring binders. Molly's address book was in the social section of the binder. She included pertinent information about her friends, phone numbers, email addresses, birth dates, including a special notation to avoid Kevin Spencer's birthday parties, where the combination of carrot cake, chocolate frosting, and Neapolitan ice cream was a given, and where on one occasion somebody had made the frosting with laxative as a primary ingredient. Pets, type, size, and general level of friendliness, with a jotted reminder to steer clear of the D'Agostino's slobbery Great Dane, Caesar, who might or might not have eaten a cat. Siblings, age and likelihood to be annoying during sleepovers, with a highlighted double-underlined postscript to skip Patty Schumacher's house until the twins were done teething, because they bit like Tasmanian devils and probably had not had their shots. And favorite subjects for the organization of future study groups prior to final exams. Lunch tickets were tucked into a zippered plastic pocket, along with bus tokens and extra quarters for emergency phone calls, although Molly had never actually faced an emergency where a phone call would have helped, unless you counted the time Nicholas O'Connor set his hair on fire to show off for Kimberly Klein, and then the fire was well out before the fire department got to the bus. Still, she felt comforted knowing she was prepared. The notebook also contained a family section, with a color-coded calendar so she'd know when to remind her grandmother to pay the bills. Molly had come up with that particular strategy after having taken phone messages from a number of bill collectors. Regardless of Irene's determination to look upon those 2 weeks without water and electricity as an urban adventure, Molly had not enjoyed bathing by candlelight with 2-liter bottles of natural spring water, heated, or rather slightly warmed, in a pan held over a butane lighter. Molly's grandmother was a talent agent specializing in animal clients. "Do you realize, Sugar, that last month's entire mortgage was paid for by Dizzy the dog?" Irene had recently boasted. Dizzy was Irene's favorite, a 3-year-old border collie who had landed the enviable role of spokesdog for the largest bank chain in a 3-state area. Irene's unusual career explained, at least to Irene, why their home was in a constant state of upset. She claimed that she couldn't be on top of things at both her house and her business. Her creative juices would desert her if she was too regimented. Apparently, her creativity was also threatened by paying bills on time, dressing sedately, and dusting. Molly had a schedule for house cleaning, too, in her lost notebook, immediately before the grocery list, the pager number of the emergency plumber, and the list of her and Irene's doctor and dentist appointments for the next year. Molly reluctantly dragged her thoughts from her lost data and watched Irene fluff her hair. "Irene, did I already ask you if you'd seen my notebook?" "Notebook? No, I haven't seen it today. But if you had a good bag, pet, a really smart purse, you'd never misplace anything. See, I can keep everything I need in my shoulder bag, and being basic black, it goes with everything I own." Irene triumphantly dragged her purse to the middle of the room. It was the approximate weight and size of a Marine Corps duffel bag. She hadn't been